Welcome to What the Mom podcast. You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Motherhood can be isolating and hard.
We are two doulas who want to provide a safe place to talk about all things mom.
From pregnancy
to birth
to postpartum
to parenting.
Join us as we have real conversations about real life.
Welcome to What the Mom podcast.
You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline. Hi,
Thanks
guys.
for joining us.
Yay. What, episode 28?
Yeah.
Wow. And to think we never were going to start.
It's been fun.
It's crazy. It has been lots of fun. I definitely enjoy it.
Today's topic, we're going a little bit away from the birth stuff and we're going to the postpartum stuff. We're going to be talking all about baby wearing.
Yay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you wear all your babies?
I did. Some I wore more than others, though.
I feel like I never. Well, yeah, I wore Ben, and then Sophie, and sometimes Lorelai, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but sometimes, yeah.
Well, your third one was a little bit bigger too.
And like heavy. Oh, yeah, and if you don't have a carrier with support, it just feels like it's like breaking your back. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Invest in a good carrier, especially for carrying a bigger baby.
Yeah. And we'll share a little bit more about that soon.
Yeah.
So I guess we should start with, what is baby wearing?
Yeah.
In your own words, how would you explain what is baby wearing?
It's just a way to carry your baby around. Just a convenient way. Like I did it when I would be like making supper or cleaning, anything like that. Walks are really good too. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it also was really great. If you didn't want to just like hold on to them and like actually have to pay attention to holding on to them, if they were just in a seat, and they were like there, you didn't have to worry about them, falling or whatever if you were like so exhausted. And I think, yeah, it really just, it also helped with their moods too. Like if they were super cranky, just being beside mom and like hearing their heartbeat, it really does make a huge difference.
So, baby wearing, it's not new.
No.
It's new-ish to North America, probably. I don't know when people started doing it more like commonly. But there's many other cultures around the world who wear babies all the time.
Yeah.
I remember with my first, I would wear my baby all the time.
Yeah.
And I worked with a few ladies who were from Africa, and they always thought it was so cool because I don't know if all areas of Africa do this, but most areas do, from what I know. And it's common. They just take like a long fabric and they learn because they see everyone else doing it, and they wrap the baby and then they just go about their day.
Yeah, it's true.
But here in North America, you can do that if you want to, but we also have things like carriers that you can buy that are designed specifically for baby wearing. Like, yeah, they're marketed towards that.
Yeah, that is cool though. You don't really need necessarily like a fancy one, because we'll be talking about different ones, but some are literal wraps and you just make it into a carrier. So yeah.
Exactly.
It's cool.
It is really neat, actually. So how to do it is you are using whatever type of carrier you have, and you put baby when they're really little and they have no head support. They have to go in your front though.
Yeah.
And then once they can hold their head up, you can put them on the front or the back. Yeah. And then you put them in this carrier so they're close to you and your hands are free.
Yeah. You can get so much more done. I feel like I had one, but I didn't really pay attention really to baby wearing and like really the benefits of it. I think you know, but like even just like walking around the house and cleaning your house, or just think about it. How do you, it's so much easier to have them in a carrier than to be cooking with them in your arms. And it just makes it so much more convenient.
It's true, yeah.
It really does. And the babies are typically happier because they're with mom and you can get your stuff done. Usually when you put baby down, they usually cry. And then you immediately are like, I have to tend to my baby. And then, yeah, stuff doesn't get done the same way. So anyways, for me, but yeah.
Yeah. They still feel like they're being held, even though your hands are free.
Yeah. It's a great option.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the ones that most people I find like to use is like a backpack style, because it's probably the most simple, easiest for someone who's new, like completely brand new to baby wearing.
Yeah.
They sometimes call it structured carriers.
Yeah.
Solid structured carrier, something like that. And essentially it looks like kind of like a backpack that a baby can sit in.
Is that an Infantino?
Yeah. So the one I have is an Infantino.
Yeah.
I had this with my first. I've worn 4 babies in it already, and I guarantee I'll be wearing my 5th baby soon.
Yeah, exactly.
In the same one. So it's got lots and lots of use.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think like size. This carrier specifically says for children between 8 and 32 pounds. That's a pretty big wide range.
Yeah. Definitely.
They can all be like slightly different.
Yeah.
So if you're watching on the video, you'll be able to see me put on the carrier. But basically you put it around your arms. And then there's usually straps on the back.
Yeah.
You do up. Usually one at the top. And then there'll be one at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you tighten it. And then you would put the baby in the front. And then do up those straps. And then the baby is nice and close to you.
Yeah. Perfect for breastfeeding.
Oh, totally. I know so many times I go for walks.
Oh, yeah.
I just breastfeed the baby as I'm walking, and people will be like, "Oh, your baby's so cute," and they come to look,
and then they look like, in there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Unless you're that close, you don't even know they're breastfeeding. Which is really cool that you can do that, right?
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah, and then when you wear it on the back, if you're going to do a back carry, you either need to have somebody there to help put the baby in the carrier, or you need to practice, whether it's with a doll or whether it's with your child, like over a bed or like somewhere soft. Don't do it over like a hard floor, because you will drop your child and feel horrible. Not saying I ever did that.
I almost went spit my water everywhere. We're all moms and we're learning, and we're not perfect at this.
Yeah.
And we don't pretend to be, just so you know.
If you happen to
use with
have that happen, don't feel like
you're not the worst mom ever.
Person. I mean, obviously, try hard not to in the first place.
And babies are very resilient, and they will be okay. So, yeah, it happens.
What I did with my babies is, because when they're on the back, they already have the good head support. So I'd have them sitting on the couch or on a chair or somewhere.
Yeah.
I put the baby in the backpack.
Yeah.
Sitting down, and then I go in front of them, and then I put my arms through. Yeah. Lean forward and buckle. And then I stand up. That's how I always found the easiest.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to like fling your baby in there, like it's too much to get them in properly.
Yeah. I agree. Or you can go like this, and you can kind of take them and kind of hunch them over your back, and then put their legs, and then put the carrier on top.
Once they're a little bit bigger.
Yeah. It's true. When they're tiny, it's difficult. So you always wear them in the front.
Well, as soon as they have neck support, you can put them on the back, though.
Yeah. I don't really think I really put mine in the back. I think it was mostly the front. Or they would sit forward and they liked having their hands out and they liked looking at everything.
Yeah, some people do that. The reason I like the back is because then I don't have a baby in front of me in the way. So like I can't wash dishes with a baby in front of me.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And I don't feel comfortable cooking at the stovetop when I have a baby in the front.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like if things like splatter and they hit them. So there's certain things I didn't like to do with them in the front.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're on the back, I can literally do anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not gonna lie, I've even gone to the toilet wearing a baby.
Oh gosh. Yes. Absolutely.
Like it's just so much, not a big deal. Like it's easy.
No, it's so easy. Absolutely. I've just breastfed on the toilet. Like I go to the bathroom and my kid's crying and she somehow finds me in there, crawls on up and decides to nurse while I'm on the toilet. And you know,
life of a mom, right?
The life of a mom. So that's not shocking at all.
Yeah. So then another kind of carrier, if you have a brand new baby, is using what they call the ring sling. So basically, it's a sling that would go over your shoulder, over your head, and it goes like across your body.
Yeah.
But there's like a ring that holds both sides together that goes up on your shoulder, and the baby sits inside, and they're just cradled in there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like the sling for the newborns because then they kind of just like get cradled in there, they're cuddled in, and they just go to sleep because they're nice and small at this point.
Yeah, totally.
And then there's different types of wraps that you can wear. Now, wraps can be intimidating to some people because you have to know how to wrap it around and tie it.
Yeah, but I have a Connie.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of wraps, though. And there's tons and tons of videos online to teach you how to wear them as well now.
Oh, there's tons. And I still get confused wearing it. I'm like, how does this thing go again? Yeah. They're awesome, though. Especially if, you have a little baby. And, it just... I'm like, how does this sucker go?
That is the only problem with the wrap style. They're more
comfortable. I know, they're so confusing sometimes.
Yeah, they're way more comfortable to wear.
They are.
But they can be a little bit confusing to put on sometimes.
And I'm like, how does this thing go? Like this. There you go. So you like position it down and then basically their feet, one of their foot goes here and then one of their foot goes here. And then you cradle their butt under this thing, basically. And then you have a little thing that you're supposed to put around here that just basically supports them. It goes all the way around their butt. Yeah. So you just tie it. There you go. Their little arms hang out here and their feet hang out here.
Yeah.
It's a really good one, too.
My wrap is kind of similar. I don't know what it's called, like the Buddha wrap or something.
Yeah, the Connie, I don't know.
It's like two slings, so you put it over across the body.
Yeah.
And you would put baby in. Then you do the other one across the other side. Yeah. And then it essentially looks the same as Jacqueline's.
Yeah, exactly.
And then again, the baby will be in the middle with the leg coming out each side, and it's kind of holding underneath baby's bum, and their head's up top by your face.
Yeah.
And you know they're at a good height if you can kiss their forehead. That's where you want them to be.
Yeah.
And then I take the big long wrap piece, go around their bum.
Yeah.
And then you can just tie it straight, or you can do it over your shoulders one more time.
Yeah.
Depending on like if the baby's really tiny and you have too much extra fabric. Or if they're a bigger, like a toddler you're still wearing.
Yeah.
And the wraps can usually hold heavier too.
Mine is 34 pounds. And then I have a baby Bjorn, and I think it's like 40, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different kinds. There's
tons.
I have a rebozo wrap that you can use in pregnancy or during birth that I have also used for baby wearing. When my babies are really little, I use it like a sling.
Yeah.
So I wrap it, put the baby in it, kind of wrap it around my shoulder, and I tie it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
It's just a sling.
You could use so many different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I've actually, when I was in a pinch, I was visiting with my parents and we wanted to go for a walk. We didn't have a stroller. I didn't bring my carrier. And I actually used a bed sheet and I wrapped my baby in a bed sheet and we went for a walk.
Yeah, you can totally do it. Anything, really.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So there's so many different kinds that you can do.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So you mentioned that it helped calm your babies down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Totally. Help them sleep more. Just the sense of mom being there, right? Mm-hmm. It definitely made things, easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find if you have a needier baby that tends to need to be held more often, baby wearing can be a lifesaver. So
I told my friend, yeah.
You told your
twins? Friend? Because her baby just cries all the time. So I said, just put her in a carrier and wear her.
Yeah.
If then you can actually get up and do things. Otherwise, she's just sitting there in bed.
Yeah.
Holding her.
It's true.
So, it works.
It is true. My first baby is the one that I wore the most because he was the neediest.
Yeah.
And he didn't like to be alone at all, really. He didn't sleep very well. He breastfed all the time. So I just wore him often. And then he would have his naps on me a lot of the time when he was younger. And I'd go for walks that way. I'd do stuff around the house that way. It was nice because he'd sleep. He'd breastfeed in there. I had my hands free. And then if it's not your first baby, it can be nice because then you can have your hands free to do things with the toddler or older child, depending on your age gap. Because then it's not just all about only the baby. Mm-hmm. You can actually do other things as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you have children close in age.
Well, yeah. It just makes it easier. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And it's good exercise, too. Like, wearing a kid.
Yeah.
It creates resistance. It's good.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
You do need to be careful, though, if you did have a C-section, that you don't start baby wearing too soon. You need to heal first.
Would you say, completely heal, your scar? Would you say, at 6 weeks, if you get the go-ahead for other things? Or would you say wait even longer?
I'd probably say around that time. I mean, check with your healthcare provider to see, though.
Yeah. It
also would depend on how you're feeling, probably. Because everyone kind of heals at different rates.
Yeah, you don't want to overexert yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it will use some abdominal muscles when you are wearing a baby, though. And they're already just, from having a baby, they are already a little bit weaker. But I found personally that it did help strengthen my muscles a little bit. Because it's kind of like you're exercising, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it, too.
Yeah. But there's that saying some people say, or not a saying, but some people would say oh, you can't just hold the baby all the time because you're going to spoil them. But the real saying, that's the truth, is you can't spoil a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Not a newborn baby anyways.
Yeah.
They need to be held. Yeah. Because they can't do anything on their own yet at all.
Yeah.
And the only way they can communicate is crying. So they're not crying like to manipulate you. They're crying for their basic needs. And being close to mom is a basic need. It really is. Yeah. When you think about it, they were in this tight little space being like held,
cradled.
For so long. And then they're birthed into this world that's loud and bright and cold. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is. Every baby's different.
Yeah. But it makes sense that they want mom to hold them. So this is a nice way to do that. Yeah.
You can still wear them and hold them and get your things done and still have a life.
It's true. Yeah. When the baby's a little bit older, there's also hiking carriers. So that's like a backpack. That's like a hiking backpack, but it has a seat so you can put the child in.
Yeah.
And those ones basically, I mean, you're not going to put like a newborn in it. But once they get a little bit bigger, you'd have to look at the seat to see like weight and stuff like that. But they are really cool if you're doing more hiking type walks and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they usually have some pockets to store stuff in, like your water bottle and snacks and first aid kit and anything else you're taking.
Yeah.
And then your child just sits in the seat. We did that. We have 2 of them. We don't do a ton of hiking, but we have used them before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never used one.
They're fun.
Not really a hiker. But yeah, they are awesome.
We've done it just for going for long walks.
Yeah, they come in handy.
Yeah, it's more padded than like a normal backpack carrier. So around your shoulders and your chest and everything, it's more padded, so it's more comfortable actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it has to be because they're also designed for going up to heavier weights, I think, too.
Yeah, that makes sense, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know people that have them, and they love them because you don't have to stop doing your outdoorsy things like your hikes and stuff when you do have a baby because you just bring them along.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did we miss anything else?
I don't really think so. No.
I think that about covers what baby wearing is and how to do it and some of the benefits, right?
If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the box, the comment box.
Yeah, and if you have,
if there's anything else.
If you have done baby wearing before, let us know if you have any other tips for people. Anything that you wish you knew before you started.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Baby carrying is awesome. And if you don't do it yet and you have a little, try it out. To make your life a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
One thing, actually, I did notice is after my second, I didn't baby wear very often because I had a prolapse.
Oh, yeah.
And it made it worse. Because anytime you're using your abdominal muscles,
it makes it worse, yeah.
Exacerbate it, yeah.
So, yeah, be careful.
So you need to be careful paying attention to your body. So if you're feeling pain, it shouldn't be painful. I mean, you might get a little bit sore if you've been doing it for like wearing the baby most of the day or something. But just for a short little bit, it should not be painful at all. Anywhere.
Yeah. So definitely be aware of your body for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Absolutely. It's a good point because that can be something that happens. Yeah. Something that happens in childbirth.
Yeah. But overall, I'd say most people are able to, and it's super beneficial. And there's a few people that say they don't like doing it, but I'd say the majority of people that I've talked to, they say they're glad that they started.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't know until you try it, so try it out. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But definitely when you have multiple children, like Petra's gonna have. She's gonna want to. She's gonna have no choice.
I know. I was actually thinking about that. How am I going to go for walks this summer when the baby's born in early July?
Yeah.
So my older two, 8 and 5, they'll be able to ride their bikes or just walk.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old, she can do a bit of that, but I mean, only for so long.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a 2-year-old and the newborn. So I'll probably have the double stroller for the 3 and 2-year-old. And then the
baby in a carrier. Yeah.
Most likely that's what will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because your hands will be full.
Yeah.
You will definitely enjoy baby wearing at that point. Some peace and quiet.
Oh, I know one other benefit of baby wearing if you are on multiple children. I have found that if you have children close together in age, so you have a toddler at the time of a newborn,
yeah,
it's hard to put that newborn down anywhere because the toddler just wants to go and like touch them and they want to love them and they almost like can
poke their eyeballs out
because they don't really understand. Yeah. So I remember having like my first, like I put him down on a blanket. Oh, that's great. I can do that for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But then my second, I go to put her down and her big brother like wants to play with her. Next thing I know, there's like all these toys piled on top of her. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Or with my third baby, I remember putting her in a playpen. And then the toddler's literally inside the playpen with the baby. And I'm like, this was supposed to be your safe space.
Katerina.
Yeah. So that I was like, oh. So it's difficult. But if you're baby wearing, you know your baby's safe because you're holding the baby.
Yeah.
They can still have their nap or whatever they need to do. You don't have to worry about older siblings attacking them.
Attacking them. Yeah.
Whether it's like mean out of jealousy or just smothering with love, both ways.
Yep. Valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point.
So another reason to baby wear.
Yeah. Safety of your baby.
Yeah. Exactly. Also, if you're the type of parent who doesn't want everyone touching your baby when they're first born, that can be one way to kind of keep hands and mouths away because people like to kiss babies. They like to touch them. And everyone has their own comfort level. Some people, they have no problem and they just hand off their baby for people to hold. But if you're not like that and you're someone who doesn't really want the baby being touched and kissed and all that, then an easier way than having to confront everybody is to just wear your baby. So then they literally have to come right to where you are to do any of that. And then you just say, oh, actually, we're trying not to touch baby's face anywhere or something, right?
Well, and also there can be things that can be detrimental to baby if like you have a cold sore and stuff. And generally we shouldn't just be kissing babies.
Yeah, which is why a lot of parents are a little hesitant for certain stuff like that.
Right? Because it can be super serious. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. That's a good point too.
Yeah. So if you're holding baby or wearing baby, I mean, it's a little easier.
A little easier. Yeah, absolutely.
People are less likely to ask to hold your baby too if you're wearing them as opposed to if you're just holding them in your arms. That's what I found.
Absolutely. I felt the same way.
When I went to like big groups of people and I didn't want my baby just being passed around, I would always wear my baby for that reason.
Yeah. And you just say, yeah, you can just look.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Especially when they're really little and they're susceptible to things. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important to respect mom and baby and
Yeah, because you're allowed to put in whatever boundaries in place that you want to. It's your family.
You're the mom. Yeah, absolutely. You're the boss.
Exactly.
You are the boss. Well, we hope you learned something valuable about baby wearing.
Yes.
And
yeah, let us know your experiences and if you have any questions.
Yeah.
And make sure,
also topics that you want us to cover too still.
Yes, exactly. We would be happy to help go over any specific topics that interest you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also make sure, if you haven't yet, to like and subscribe and follow.
Yeah.
On whichever platform you're listening to right now.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, until next time.
Until next time.
What
the mom?